Don't try and lure me into one of your psychological traps.
No one is trying to trap you. I'm here to help you process your emotions.
Emotions are a gateway trait. They lead to feelings, which trigger tears. I don't do tears.
Tell me how you're adjusting to school.
Sartre said hell is other people. He was my first crush.
All night, Sheriff Galpin conducts a search party in the woods, but the next day at Nevermore, he tells Wednesday they haven't seen Rowan's corpse, nor even a drop of his blood, contrary to what she reported previously. The sheriff says that perhaps the culprit is one of the Nevermore students, but Principal Weems is convinced that Rowan simply ran away. When Wednesday insists on talking to Sheriff Galpin alone, she tells him that somebody is covering up the murder. But just mere moments later, Rowan shows up, alive and well. During the next therapy session, Dr. 𝐤𝐤𝐬𝐸 asks Wednesday why she claimed to have witnessed a murder, but the girl only insists that she knows what she saw. Afterward, she runs into Tyler, whose therapist is also Dr. 𝐤𝐤𝐸𝐸, and though everyone doubts Wednesday, he says he believes her. At school, Enid and some girls are busy preparing for the Po Cup, an annual canoe race, when Wednesday arrives. The blonde is glad that her roommate decided to stay at Nevermore, and she informs Wednesday that everyone saw Rowan alive earlier in the morning. Enid advises that if she wants to know more about the guy, she can talk to his roommate Xavier. After spotting a watermark on the picture she got from Rowan, Wednesday goes directly to Weems, demanding to talk to him, but the principal tells her he's been expelled and he'll be leaving the school soon. Though Wednesday doesn't admit it, Weems states she knows Wednesday has been seeing visions, just like her mother at her age. She instructs the girl to join a club, and afterwards, the unhappy Wednesday instructs Thing to keep a close watch on Rowan. Taking up Weems's advice to join a club, Wednesday heads to Bianca first, the person she approached after the attack last night before passing out, and she discovers that the siren immediately went to Weems to let her handle the situation. Next, she drops by the archery club, where Xavier gives her a lesson on how to shoot an arrow. While she learns that Rowan has been erratic the past few weeks, Xavier also tells her that Tyler and his friends aren't good company. Wednesday calls him an elitist snob before showing off her far superior shooting skills. After a quick visit to Nevermore Hummers, where she meets its only member, Eugene, she attempts to talk to Rowan before he leaves, only to be rebuffed by him. At the station, Thing follows Rowan into a restroom, but as the expelled student changes his form to an older man, the disembodied hand loses his trail. With none the wiser, the older man changes form once more, emerging as Principal Weems. During botany class, Bianca notices with jealousy the interaction between Wednesday and Xavier. When class starts, the two girls get into a showdown on who is more knowledgeable about carnivorous plants. Meanwhile, Sheriff Galpin is miffed about Tyler's therapist being tight-lipped about his son's progress, convinced they're bad-mouthing him during their sessions. Upset, Tyler tells him they're talking about his mom, but the sheriff refuses to discuss her, and he ends up leaving. At Nevermore, Wednesday tries to get Enid to cover for her so she can return to the woods and investigate. However, the blonde will only agree if her roommate will apologize to Thing, who's currently upset by how Wednesday has been treating it. After she apologizes, Wednesday confesses that her greatest fear is that she'll be responsible for something terrible, and she's determined to do anything to keep it from happening. While Enid pretends to be Wednesday at the beekeeping club, the latter returns to the woods, where she unexpectedly meets Tyler, who then saves her from being discovered by the sheriff. While Wednesday tells him what truly happened after she left Tyler at the festival, she finds Rowan's glasses on the ground. Upon touching it, she sees visions of Rowan's suspicious behavior, and most importantly, the book where he ripped the picture from. Later in the library, she's searching for that book, when Mrs. Thornhill offers to help her. After Wednesday shows her the picture's watermark, the teacher reveals it's the symbol of an old student society called the Nightshades, but it's already been disbanded years ago. Thornhill shares her difficulty in fitting in as a normie teacher in Nevermore, and she advises Wednesday to never change herself. Later, the girl sneaks into Xavier's room to look for clues that Rowan might have left behind, but she only finds a mask, before Xavier returns and Bianca unexpectedly drops by. Eavesdropping under the bed, she overhears how the siren is bothered by the attention Xavier is giving the new girl and badmouths about her, declaring that she'll defeat Ophelia Hall, Wednesday's dorm, during the Po Cup, with maybe even a little bit of sabotaging. When Wednesday returns to her dorm, she tells Enid she'll join the Po Cup, determined to defeat Bianca at her own game. The next day, during the contest, all the teams play dirty to win. Upon reaching the other side of the lake, Wednesday volunteers to retrieve their flag from Joseph Crackstone's crypt, the founder of Jericho. However, upon touching its stone wall, she's sent straight into another vision. She sees a girl, eerily similar to her but blonde, who tells her that she's the key. Upon waking up, Wednesday's team races against Bianca's and both attempt to sabotage each other, but in the end, Wednesday's team wins. Later, while Principal Weems proudly awards Ophelia Hall the trophy, Wednesday leaves to take a breather. She rests by Edgar Allan Poe's statue, where she discovers that it's holding a book with the same logo found on the picture. That night, Wednesday returns to Poe's statue, and after figuring out the riddle written in its book, she enters a secret library, where she finds a picture of her parents who turn out to be former Nightshade members. Just as she finds the book that Rowan tore the picture from, someone pulls a bag over her head.
But the minute I inch towards the truth, luckily, I'm not afraid of the dark.